What is going on, guys? Jeff here, Mad Hatter's Reef, and it has been a hot minute since the last time that we've done a video, but that's going to change today. We're doing it. We're making a video. We're making a top 10. You guys love top 10s. But if this is your first time being here, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell so you can be notified every time that we upload a new video. Let's jump into it. So Zoanthids are great beginner corals. There are some precautions that you need to take with them, but they are definitely one of the first corals that most people that are getting into the hobby purchase and add to their tank well before they get into stuff like this. Now, if you're looking to add Zoanthids to your reef tank, check us out at coralsunlimited.com. We have beefed up our Zoanthids section. We also have a bunch of other corals as well. So if you're looking to add some corals to your reef tank, check us out. And what I mean by us is me, my store, coralsunlimited.com. We're also a brick and mortar location. You can come visit us. We're in Maine. But if you're looking to add some corals to your reef tank, specifically maybe some Zoanthids, check us out over there. We just beefed up our Zoanthids section. All right, so what are these precautions that we talked about just a minute ago? Well, Zoanthids have paletoxin. So when you are handling this animal, you want to make sure that you're taking some precautions as far as the personal protective equipment. Make sure you're wearing gloves. Make sure you're wearing eye protection. Do all of that and treat every Zoanthid as if they contain paletoxin, even though that not all Zoanthids do. Do not boil them. Do not handle them with cuts on your hands. Don't get the juices in your bloodstream, and you're going to be okay. Coming in at number 10 on our top 10 Zoanthids for your reef tank is the orange oxides. Orange oxides are some of the most sought after Zoanthids for beginners, and the reason being is because they are absolutely stunning. Coloration is phenomenal on them. The orange is very bright and stunning. You have that little bit of blue on the oral disc. Then into the disc itself, it's a very bright orange. Skirt seems to have like a zebra orange pattern. It's a very, very good looking Zoanthid. And they don't break the bank either. Typically, you can find a orange oxide anywhere between $20 to $45, depending on how many heads it has. Obviously, you're going to pay a little bit more for additional heads, but definitely a budget-friendly Zoanthid that is very, very stunning. Check them out, the orange oxide Zoanthids. Coming in at number 9 on our top 10 Zoanthids for your reef tank is the rainbow incinerator. Now, these guys typically, when you get a frag, can be a little bit on the smaller side, but over time they actually will get pretty big. I would dare to say almost as big as a medium-sized pally, and that's kind of shocking, really, because a lot of times when you first get the Zoanthid, especially like new growth, they start off kind of small. I would almost say like a micro Zoanthid size, and then you give it 6 months, 8 months, and then you have just these big old rainbow incinerators that are pretty chunky. Now, as far as the coloration goes, this isn't probably the best photo out there. Usually that oral disc is a little bit brighter of an orange, and then the rest of the oral disc can be a little bit deeper of an orange into a green skirt, and that is a very good looking Zoanthid. Now, as far as the price point on these guys, it varies quite a bit, and I think that tends to be the case with just about Zoanthids in general. Depending on where you're shopping, you can find one for $20, maybe $25, and they can get as expensive as $90 per polyp. So do some shopping around, find the right one for you within your budget. It's doable. They're definitely a great addition to a reef tank. Check them out, the Rainbow Incinerator. 8 is great, and one of my personal favorites. That is the Fruit Loop Zoanthid. Now, these are absolutely stunning and definitely well sought after for a period of time. They weren't as plentiful as they are nowadays. And I guess the benefit to that is the price is a lot more reasonable as what they were, I'd say, I don't know, 5 years ago, because 5 years ago you could pay upwards of $100 for a couple of heads. Nowadays you're paying, $30, $40 a frag. So that's definitely a move in the right direction as far as somebody who's looking to expand their Zoanthid collection. Now, I think why I am personally drawn to this Zoanthid is because it has 4 colors. Typically you're going to get 1, maybe 2, and this one has 4. You got blue, you got yellowish green, purple, and orange. That's quite the combination of colors on a single polyp. These guys are definitely beautiful. One of my personal favorites. Check them out. The Fruit Loop Zoanthid. Coming in at number 7 on our top 10 Zoanthids for your reef tank is the Pikachu Zoo Anthem. An absolute hit with the kids, and for those that are outside of that age group, I'm technically not, but I don't identify with that age group. So yellow's a pretty hard color to nail down in a reef tank. And anybody that is looking to add some yellow to the reef tank, anything that has the name Pikachu in this hobby is going to do it. Now, I think if it was absolutely 100% yellow, this would be hands down my most favorite Zoanthid ever. But that little bit of like bluish green coloration in the oral disc is just enough of a breakup to not make it completely dull. But the coloration of this Zoanthid and the yellows throughout it are pretty phenomenal. Not that I'm not saying that little bit of blue isn't cool. It is cool, but it would just be a little bit cooler if it wasn't there. It would be my favorite. I'm sorry, but it's not. So let's move on. Number 6. This is my favorite. This is the WCAOI Zoo Anthem. Now, I love me some AOIs. Now, these guys have considerably come down in price. These are probably some of the most, at least at one point, some of the most expensive Zoanthids that were out there. You know, a frag could fetch $200 on eBay. I think I had a screenshot somewhere, actually probably on an old article that I wrote for one of the websites, of a WWC AOI Zoanthid frag going for north of $200. I recently picked up a frag of AOIs. I'm not going to tell you the source, but I picked up a frag of them for $4. That was retail. That wasn't like a wholesale price. That was full-blown retail. Hey, you want that frag? $4. It seems like they're very more readily available than they've been in the past, too. Because like this was a coral that would pop up every now and again. And I just went to a trade show a couple weekends ago. Actually, was it last? It might have been last weekend. No, it was the weekend before. So 2 weekends ago, I went to the Fragsgiving sale over in Boston, put on by BRS, and they had a bunch of vendors there. They did a great job with the whole show, and just about every table that was there that had Zoanthids had AOIs, and they had a decent price on them. They are a beautiful addition to a reef tank. Check them out, the AOIs from WWC. Coming in at number 5 on our top 10 Zoanthids for your reef tank is the Utter Chaos. Now, the coloration on these Zoanthids is a very vivid, glowing orange coloration. Highly sought after, too. It's a coral that I think that, more often than not, if somebody's looking for a Zoanthid of a orange variety, this is definitely the one. They typically have like a almost two-tone, same pattern throughout it. The oral disc is a little bit different from the skirt. The skirt's a little bit brighter, a little bit more colorful, and then you have some darker coloration in the oral disc as well. As far as price point goes on these guys, it's all over the place. Like there seems to be nowadays that there is quite a bunch of different price points, and you can really find a decent priced Utter Chaos if you're shopping in the right place. I've seen this coral go for as much as $100 per polyp recently and be as cheap as $20 per frag. So definitely a interesting Zoanthid. Check it out. Coming in at number 5, the Utter Chaos. And coming in at the number 4 spot, not easily pronounced and often wrong, the Super Scion. I probably nailed it. I probably didn't. If you collect Pokemon, your head probably just rolled off your shoulders. But if you don't, you're probably like, yeah, that's what it is, Super Scion. You guys love the way I say things anyway, so carry on. So when it comes to Zoanthids and my personal taste, I tend to find Zoanthids that have more than 3 colors very, very interesting. And the Super Scion falls into that category. It has over 5 colors. That is a very, very awesome achievement for a Zoanthid to have over 5 colors in it, and not often found. And I have found recently that my own personal taste in Zoanthids really is dictated by the amount of colorations that are within one polyp, and this one definitely checks the box. having over 5 different colorations. So if you're looking for a splash of color, not only in this Zoanthid, but a few others, like I mentioned at the top of the episode, we do carry quite a few Zoanthids, this one included, at Corals Unlimited. Link in the description. Coming in at number 3 on our top 10 Zoanthids, this one takes the cake and will take you to life. The Grim Reaper. The Grim Reaper Zoanthid, recently acquired by us. We're going to be fragging it here pretty soon at Corals Unlimited. Is absolutely stunning. Yellow, like I say, is a very hard color to come by. And this one has a very striking resemblance, color pattern-wise, to the Utter Chaos. But it's in yellow. I recently just saw this coral go for $600 per polyp. Can you imagine that? Buying a single polyp frag for $600 and then it melts on you? I mean, I guess worse things have happened, but that'd be pretty devastating. Anyways, we're not going to be selling it for $600, but still an absolutely amazing Zoanthid. Check it out, the Grim Reaper. Coming in at the number 2 spot, one of my personal favorites, the Goblin Fire Zoanthids. Now, if you're looking at a tank that is filled with Zoanthids, top to bottom, left to right, this is a Zoanthid that will stick out to you. Not only is it an incredibly bright, vivid green, which, to say that I really like a green coral is saying something, but it has 3 colors. It has the green, very apple, Granny Smith apple green oral disc into the very little bit of blue in the bottom of the skirt into a fiery red. It stands out, it pops. It's going to be a coral that catches your attention. And if you have like a large colony of this Zoanthid in your reef tank, it's going to draw your eye. It's a very good looking Zoanthid. Price point on it, it's not going to break the bank. It's a little on the expensive side. I mean, typically you're going to find one for about, $60-ish. But this deal's out there. You just got to shop around. Definitely a beautiful Zoanthid. Check it out. Number 2, Goblin Fire Zoanthids. And coming in at the number 1 spot on our top 10 Zoanthids is the GMK. 4 colors. Checkmate. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the bell so you can be notified for future videos. The fun doesn't have to stop here. Check this video out. I will see you over there.